And the last one we're going to talk about today is number 13 ranked Vicente Luque, who is 17-7-1, and he's taking on Niko Price, who's 14-3-0, and he's got a no contest thrown in there as well. Vicente Luque is coming off of a loss to Stephen Thompson, but before that, he was riding a 7-fight win streak. And, a 6-fight win streak. And Niko Price is on that list. So is Chad LaPriest, Jalen Turner, Brian Barberina, Derek Krantz, Mike Perry. Now, the problem with that is that there's nobody truly elite, like at the top heap of the division, until you run into Stephen Thompson, and Stephen Thompson handled him pretty well, right? But I just don't think Vicente Luque is there yet. Just not quite yet. I think he's a top 10 fighter, but I just don't think he's quite ready to crack into that top 5. I think he will be with a little bit of work, though. I mean, he's very fucking good, very dangerous. But yeah, this is a rematch. And the first time that Vicente Luque and Niko Price fought, Luque caught him in a darsh. And since then, Niko Price has gone on to do some pretty impressive things as well, though. You know, Niko Price has that win over Randy Brown, where he caught his foot behind his head and knocked him out with strikes from the bottom. He has an upkick win over James Vick off of his back. Crazy. The way he finds insane ways to win. He knocked out Tim Means, lost to Jeff Neal in a fight where there was almost a double knockout, and where he actually just that fight kind of came down to grappling. Jeff Neal just had a grappling advantage. Knocked out by Abdul Razak Al Hassan, who, by the way, is a killer. If you're wondering where he is, he was accused of rape, and then he was actually just recently found not guilty. So I think you'll be seeing his name around again. He's a very promising prospect at welterweight. But yeah, anyway, Niko Price, Vicente Luque, great matchup. I love this rematch because, like I said, Niko Price has gone on to do so many impressive things since then, as has Vicente Luque, and I feel like they're two different fighters now. They're much more refined, and I think that Niko Price has kind of found his identity a little bit. Like, I think he's leaned in more to the fact that he is fucking kind of crazy, and like that he does get these wild finishes. You know, I think there's something about like discovering that about yourself, and like I think he's probably always known it, but it's like a self-realization thing, you know, and he's implementing it better now. He's like turned a corner in a sense. And Vicente Luque is, I mean, his striking is very, very technically sound. He fights heavy on the front foot. He likes to press forward, and he likes to come straight down the pipe with everything. One of the weapons that you really got to watch out for, and he throws it all the time, is his flying knee. He's always looking to set up his flying knee, and he's got a really good understanding of timing and distance and range. One thing that you will notice, and that I think Niko Price will probably pick up on, is that you can tag Vicente Luque when he's coming in on his entries. After he throws his combos, he's got very good head movement, very good footwork. He gets out easily, and he gets back in position to throw more strikes. But sometimes you can catch him on the way in. He's very good on his exits, but he's lacking a little bit of head movement on his entries. And Niko Price, like you look at the Tim Means knockout, he caught Tim Means coming in a little lazy, and he's got serious knockout power. So he might be looking to exploit that. I'm actually leaning towards Vicente Luque in this fight because of the fact that I don't like what I saw from, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, the upkick was fucking awesome that he landed against James Vick, but I don't like what I saw from him on the ground against Jeff Neal, and I don't like what I saw on the ground from him against Vick. And I think that if Luque backs Niko Price up in this fight, gets his back against the cage and like uses his strikes to set up the takedown, maybe. I think that you got to remember, man, Vicente Luque has 6 submissions on his record and 9 knockouts. So he's well versed in, you know what I mean? It's not like he doesn't have a submission game, man. He can tap you out. I actually wouldn't be surprised if you saw Vicente, like I said, Luque try to cut off that space and maybe turn this into more of a grappling heavy exchange because he thinks he has an advantage there. If I'm Niko Price, I'm trying to keep my back off the cage. I'm trying to keep space in between myself and him because I'm explosive. My knockout, I feel like that's how I generate power on these like kind of wider looping shots. Niko Price, very technical. Again, I don't know if you call him unorthodox, but the angle that he throws things at and like his timing on things is just a little bit different. Like it's unique. He has a unique style. It'd be a good way to put it. And if he leverages it, and like I said, the self-realization thing, when he leverages it effectively, he's very dangerous. So I think the key is going to be a lot of movement, staying in space, and trying to land that shot that hurts Luque. Because I don't think that Niko Price is going to have an advantage on the ground. It's not like he's going to be going for takedowns. And like I said, I think Luque is going to he's going to want to march him down and establish he wants to get the striking range in his world. He wants it to be in his world, not in Niko's. So that means closing off the space and keeping things tight and negating the power shots, right? And then maybe looking for the takedown, I don't know, or engaging in the clinch. But I'm leaning towards Vicente Luque in this fight just because I think that he does have an advantage on the ground and in grappling, and I just think that his style is it's a little more favorable in this matchup because I think that he'll just be able to like stay high and tight, march Niko down, and find success that way. I'm going Vicente Luque. I don't know if he'll be able to finish him. It might just be a kind of fight where he wears on Niko and beats up on him. But yeah, I like Luque. Maybe, I don't know, man. Luque could get it done anyway. If Niko Price wins, I think it'll be by knockout. I don't think Niko Price will beat Luque up over the course of 3 rounds. But I think if Luque wins, he could win by submission, knockout, or decision.